The Catoctin Reads program was developed by the National English Honor Society to promote literacy rates through summer reading. Through fundraising efforts and community donations, NEHS, the Student Government Association, and the Thurmont Lions Club raised over $2,000 to purchase a copy of one of 5 approved titles for each member of the incoming class to own.
Alright, 8th grade. My name's Audrey Lindahl. I'm a senior. And you're going to have the chance to pick out what book you want to read this summer. Your choices are Divergent, 5 Flavors of Dumb, Soldier's Heart, The Book Thief, and The Things a Brother Knows. You're going to check off one of them, write your full name, and circle your teacher's name.
Hi, I'm Katie Ruggiero. Divergent by Veronica Roth describes a dystopian Chicago world where society is divided into 5 factions based on a single core value. The selfless are in abnegation, the brave and dauntless, the intelligent and erudite, the honest and candor, and the peaceful in amity. On an appointed day of every year, all 16-year-olds must select the faction to which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the narrator of the story and the main protagonist, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both. Growing up in abnegation, she always knew she didn't belong. However much she tried to hide it and live up to her parents' expectations. But when her aptitude test results come out as inconclusive and she's told in confidence that she displays characteristics for 3 different factions, abnegation, erudite, and dauntless, she is instantly a target and must hide her divergent. So she makes a choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice renames herself Triss and struggles alongside her fellow initiates to live out the choice they have made. Together they must undergo extreme physical tests of endurance and intense psychological simulations, some with devastating consequences. As the initiation transforms them all, Triss must determine who her friends really are, and where exactly a romance with sometimes fascinating, sometimes exasperating boy fits into the life she's chosen. But Triss also has the secret of divergence, and it's one she kept hidden from everyone because she's warned it can mean death. She also discovers unrest and growing conflict that threaten to unravel her seemingly perfect society. She also learns that her secret might help her save the ones she loves, or it might destroy her. Read Divergent by Veronica Roth to learn the rest of Triss's story.
Hi, I'm Piper, and the narrator of 5 Flavors of Dumb by Anthony John. I guess you've noticed that I'm deaf. Mine is a story of a big mess, self-created. Because of my big mouth, I have 1 month to get a paying gig for my high school's hottest new rock band, Dumb. Honestly, the band couldn't have a more perfect name. Just look at the members. We've got an maniacal pretty boy, 1 silent rocker, 1 talentless piece of eye candy, 1 angry girl, and 1 nerd boy drummer. When you put the 5 of them together, they seem ready to self-destruct at any moment. It feels like getting them an actual gig will be next to impossible. And it doesn't help matters that I don't really know if their music is good or not, because obviously I can't hear it. The thing is, I wouldn't even be in this situation if my parents hadn't raided my college fund to pay for cochlear implants for my infant sister. Now she can hear, which is great, but I'm left with no money to pay for Gallaudet, a university for the deaf that I've dreamt of attending my entire life. I can't even believe that my parents would spend my money without my consent to fix my sister. What are they saying about me? I guess they think I'm still broken because the rest of my family can hear and I can't. My dad never even bothered to learn sign language, and I'm sick of having to rely on my loser little brother, Finn, to interpret for me. Gallaudet was the one chance I had to find a place where I could finally fit in. Well, if the band thinks that I'm not going to hold up on my end of the deal and get us a paying gig, they've got another thing coming. I need this money if I'm going to make it to Gallaudet. I'm sick of people thinking that just because I'm deaf, I'm invisible. I don't need to hear the music to sell it, but I do want the chance to feel the music. Believe me, I've got what it takes to manage dumb, and maybe even discover my own inner rock star along the way. If you want to find out if dumb makes it to be the next big thing, and if I make it to Gallaudet, read the rest of my story in 5 Flavors of Dumb by Anthony John.
Hello, I'm Stephen Swanson, and I will be explaining Soldier Heart by Gary Paulson for you, but I'm going to be doing it in first person, from the perspective of the book itself. So Soldier Heart is a Civil War novel based on the real life of me, Charlie Goddard. At 15, I was determined to lie about my age and enlist in the 1st Minnesota Regiment. I had never been any place beyond Winona, Minnesota, and I thought the war would be a great adventure. After all, at the time, this seemed like my only chance to see a shooting war. And it was a great adventure, at first, but as my regiment marched off through cheering crowds and pretty flag-waving girls, but then came the battles. My romantic image of war was shattered as the Battle of Bull Run introduced me to war's true horrors. Bullets were flying, and the lives of men were snuffed out in gruesome acts of brutality. No 15-year-old boy could have possibly been prepared. I wasn't prepared. I remember screaming, "Make it stop, now," disbelieving that anything so horrible could be real. The details of what actually happened on the battlefield were unfathomable. The living men suddenly blown to pieces, the agony and fear, the noise and terror, the stinking corpses. In fact, no 15-year-old boy could have remained unscathed. By the end of the book, I am a man ravaged by war, physically and mentally. In today's world, I would have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. But during the Civil War, it was called Soldier's Heart. Read Soldier's Heart by Gary Paulson to hear more of the story on life from the front lines of the Civil War.
Here is a small fact. You are going to die. I am in all truthfulness trying to be cheerful about this whole topic, though most people find themselves hindered in believing me, no matter my protestations. Please, trust me. I most definitely can be cheerful. I can be amiable, agreeable, affable, and that's only the A's. Just don't ask me to be nice. Nice has nothing to do with me. Don't worry yourself. I'm nothing if not fair. I'm not violent or malicious. I'm a result. But this story is not about me. It's the story of one of those perpetual survivors, an expert at being left behind. It's just a small story, really, about, among other things, a girl, some words, and an accordionist, some fanatical Germans, a Jewish fist fighter, and quite a lot of thievery. If you feel like it, come with me. I'll tell you a story. I'll show you something. It's upside down.
Levi, the 17-year-old narrator in The Things a Brother Knows by Dana Reinhardt, used to love his big brother Boaz. He used to worship him. Now, he's not so sure. Ever since Boaz shocked everyone and enlisted rather than going to college 3 years ago, Levi has felt like his entire family has been holding their breath. Levi just wants things to be the way they used to. But now that Boaz is finally home from an unnamed war, presumably the war in Iraq, Levi realizes that the brother he remembers is not actually back. Something is wrong, but nobody else in the family is willing to admit it. Although Boaz returns home physically unharmed, he is emotionally traumatized, and everyone but Levi seems to be in denial. Levi doesn't understand how his parents can ignore the fact that Boaz rarely speaks. When he is home, he is in his room and doesn't come out. He keeps the radio on static, He won't ride in cars. He won't see his ex-girlfriend, and Levi can hear him screaming at night. Even though Levi used to worship Boaz, he now struggles with his feelings for him. Not because he feels one way or another about the war, but because of how Boaz's decision changed his family. When Boaz finally leaves the house and tells the family that there's something he must do, Levi follows him, not knowing his destination. During the several days that the brothers walk, he tries to reconnect to the brother he loved, and possibly to save him from his internal torment. Levi has no idea where they are going or why. All he knows is that with the help of his two best friends, he's determined to bring his brother home once and for all. Read The Things a Brother Knows by Dana Reinhardt. How should students respond to the text? Over the summer, students should read and enjoy their self-selected novel. Students received a bookmark reading guide to help them respond to their reading. Because the book belongs to the student, he or she should write directly in the book to annotate a personal response. Students will use these responses to the bookmark reading guide questions during the first English 9 unit, Reading as a Process. How will students demonstrate their knowledge of the book? The 9th grade teachers expect that all incoming freshmen begin the school year having read the selected book and prepared to respond to the bookmark reading guide annotations through class discussion, writing prompts, and other activities. Students should bring their annotated text to class on one day to use during the first unit. Students will demonstrate mastery of unit indicators by applying skills and concepts to their selected novels.